boxes now, stay healthy, and be ready for opening day.
What's the biggest challenge for Willie or in terms of exposure to lefties and having some success? Is it just it's a
I
matter of
think
just
last
getting
year
the
he
reps?
actually he actually had good at bats against lefties. It's just the personal. I mean, the guys that we had were good
Sure.
too. So and then we played Jaron against lefties because he earned that right the year before he played, and and then Willie got hurt twice.
Right.
So it's hard to okay, let's play him against lefties when he's getting his timing back. Towards the end, he wasn't in. He wasn't. I mean, physically he was okay. Timing wise, he was way off. But and then you have Refnider, you had Romy. So you know they're pretty good at what they do. This year it's a different personnel, but still, the goal is for him to get at bats and play as many games as possible. Not only because of the hit tool, and he can hit the ball out of the ballpark, but obviously the defense.
I'm sorry. We talked to Craig. He was talking about run prevention, and he also talked about what a great manager you are, moving guys around the infield and moving guys, matchups. Those things work together. Is it harder to have good defense when you're doing that?
I think we had a good defense in 18, and we moved people around. I think people are so locked in into the last few years with the platoon part of it because we haven't advanced. They see it as a negative. In 18, we platooned first, second, third, behind the plate. We had the three outfielders, and we had Sanders. So that's what we managed. Would I love to have 8 guys out there every single day? Would be great, but I think you play the matchups and you move them around. I think the most important thing is up the middle. You saw what happened last year when he played. When Trevor plays, we play good baseball. That's the reality of it since he got here. And when he doesn't play, we struggle. And he played a lot last year. We talked about it yesterday. We are at a point as an organization that IKF makes sense here. Although people are like, what are we doing? Having good players around the edge of the roster matters, right? If we have to give Trevor an off day, we have a veteran that can play there. If we have Dustin Pedroia playing second, we have Alex Cora, who's a veteran. He can play second on Sunday against a tough matchup, right? Yeah. So that's the way I see it, and we hope that defensively we convert out. So I don't think it's the talent. I think last year, if you look at us metrics wise and all the other stuff that people love to talk about the previous year, right? Now they're talking about errors. So we just got to clean up. We got to be better.
With Story and IKF, do you envision? I know you had said yesterday about trying to make sure to keep Story healthy and maybe not plan 155 games this upcoming year. Is that a situation where you could see IKF like once a week in that shortstop to kind of spell Trevor a day off once a week? Or
Let's wait for Trevor to get here to have that conversation. But we just gotta. I mean, he was healthy. I think towards the end, he was feeling it. He grinded through it. He wanted to play last year. He was very honest. That Sunday in Texas when he had the off day, he's like, "Hey man, I haven't played in a while. I want to play." So yeah, we'll play you. And until in May we let him go after the mental break because he was struggling offensively. But I think giving him a day here and there, and we're not talking about every Sunday or 5 days a month, but enough that we keep him fresh and he can keep producing offensively and then keep his defense where it should be.
When you look at the second base sense with Roya and the organization, how many different guys you've tried. How do you first of all look back at how it's gone, and then how important is it to find?
Well, I never had Petey, so
Right.
he was banged up when
Really,
when
since
I
he
was
took
here.
over.
Yeah, I mean we had Brock and Eddie, Eduardo, and then from there you name them. I don't know if I'm going to remember all, but it's been a revolving door. He's a lot of people there, and some of them play because they were good offensively, others because they were good defensively. But I think this year we'll see how it plays out. But it's the nature of the business. You change rosters and you bring new people, and the organization went from what we tried to accomplish in 18 to 19. In 21, we were good, actually really good, and then After that, as an organization, we went another route, right? And now is a different year, is a different mindset, right? As a group, from top to bottom. So, we'll see what happens this season. But I think it's just the mindset of the organization.
Do you see Durbin hitting at the top of the lineup or near the top?
I don't know yet. I got to take a look at him. I saw him yesterday. Watch some videos. Wilson will be up there. Roman will be up there. Jaron is part of it. Trevor earned the right to hit in the top of the lineup. So the good thing about him, and this is something when we were having conversations about X and Y player, that the front office were talking about. I don't see Caleb becoming like a dude. Oh, he's gonna hit 40 home runs, but he's a guy that he's gonna drive in runs. He's gonna get on base. He's gonna be part of the solution, right? And he can hit on top of the lineup, but he can give you length in the lineup. And yeah, he's a good player. He's a good base runner. Having him, hit him behind the lefty that hits behind Wilson makes sense, but at the same time, we'll see against lefties how it plays out. But we'll move it around. He comes from a team that they don't care. They move people around and they do what they do. And just talking to him today, it's refreshing to hear him. What he wants to accomplish. The conversation went defense, base running. I was like, oh, cool.
Did he say it was nice to play for a young manager, comparatively speaking?
No, he didn't say that. He didn't say that.
The way this lineup is, the roster is constructed, I mean, with Roman, such a good job in the leadoff spot last year, but you look at him, can he be more valuable in like more of a production?
He's valuable anywhere, and George Springer is very valuable, and Mookie Betts was very valuable for us. Putting pressure on the opposition from pitch one, that matters too, and he was amazing for us leading off. That means that he's going to get the most at bats of anybody, and he's that type of hitter. So, we're talking top of the lineup. I'm not saying he's going to lead off, but I like what George did for Houston in 17. I like what Mookie did for us in 18, and I like what Roman did for us last year.
When you look at early and totally, how important is it to kind of remember that despite the fact they pitched in the playoffs and came up, that they're
It's their
really
first big league camp.
experienced? Yeah.
Yeah, that's very important, and we remind everybody yesterday, this is a new season, and we have a lot of new guys in camp, and ask questions, follow the ones that you should follow, right? Whitlock, Chapman, Gray, Suarez, and they understand that. So expectations are high because they are who they are and what they did last year. But at the same time, they still rookies, they still learning, and we have a lot of good pitchers in that clubhouse.
On that playoff game or playoff series they were both in, back then Cam Schlittler obviously pitched really well and was, had a lot to say about it. You always said that type of stuff is good for the game, good for the rivalry. What do you think of all that came with it?
What he said, I forgot.
Just, about Boston.
I mean, he went to a Bruins game the other day. He's a Boston fan, so I mean, we have a saying back home: the one that wins celebrates. So he earned the right to say whatever he wants.
Alex, how much did you see Giovanni pitch this winter?
He pitched. I went a few times, not much, but one of the things that we talked to him about was solving the lefties, which is the most important thing. He's really good against righties. He has struggled throughout, his big league career against lefties, and it's important for us to solve that. But he's in a good spot. He stopped pitching December 30th. I think that was the case. He's going to the tournament too. So for him to take a blow, get here early and get back on track physically, it was a must, and he's in a good spot.
You obviously leaned on Wilson quite a bit last year. How do you kind of see that role being filled this year?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, he's a guy that we trusted a little bit last year, and a guy that we have high expectations. But there's a few guys in there, that have good arms. They're still young, obviously inexperienced, but at the same time, if you got good stuff and can get people out, we're gonna give it a shot. We did it last year.
Who do you put in that bucket, lefties wise?
Who we got? Bennett. I saw him today. Obviously, we got from Washington. He's been hurt, but today that was impressive. Sammy, the lefty from Pittsburgh, good stuff, good stuff. I actually talked to Foxy, Andy Fox. He managed him last year. He said he's a bulldog when he's on. He's pretty good. So we'll see. You know, we got more. We got to learn about them and put them out there. But there's not. I mean, like I said yesterday, I think having the two lefties in the rotation, changes probably the way we build the roster. Do we need three lefties? I don't know. I mean, one obviously takes care of the 8th and 9th, depending on the pocket. You know, having another one, of course, is important. But you know, we're in the business of getting people out. You know, and we need the lefties to get righties out. We need the righties to get lefties out. So we'll see.
As you look at the 5th starter spot, like how are you evaluating that in terms of like Oviedo, Crawford, Sandoval? Like, what are you looking from them, like this spring?
Two of them to be healthy, and we take it day by day. I think Sandy is throwing up and down on Friday. I think Friday, both of them, Cutter and Sandy, are throwing. I think one is on up and down, the other one is live. But like I told Cutter today, he asked me, how did I look yesterday? I said, how you feel today? That's the most important thing, how you feel the next day. And when we have to make decisions, we make decisions. We're not going to rush people into any role. We just have to be patient, you know, and think health is very important. We're playing the wrong round here, which is, you know, when you do that, is because you got a chance to, you know, win the division, make it to the playoff, win the World Series, and we feel we can do that.
You had pretty strong first impressions of Whitlock and Slayton as kind of Rule 5 picks here. What do you think of? Have you seen Watson yet? Or,
He threw a bullpen yesterday. Still, you know, got to see him a little more. The one thing I told the group, you know, make sure he's around Slayton with a lot, you know, during drills, bullpens, all of that, because, I mean, shoot, we hit the jackpot with both of them. Hopefully, you know, we can do it again.
What do you think about the new challenge system?
Not much yet. You know, we're going to use it in spring training, and we're going to learn a lot. Last year, we didn't have a chance to use it. I think it was like 5 games, so not much that I can say about it right now. We good? Thank you.
Caleb will be out on the side.
Caleb.